If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
And there you have the axe work of the incomparable Keith Richards kicking it with the Rolling Stones. So if you were paying attention here at Infowars last year, we told you about the woman, Fiona Hill, who had emerged as a top deputy to Trump National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster. We already laid out for you General McMaster's ties to a nonprofit financed by the Rockefeller Foundation, the Ford Foundation, and yes, George Soros. And then we zeroed in on Fiona Hill, who actually can be tied directly to George Soros's Open Society Institute. What would a George Soros operative be doing working inside the Trump White House? Well, now it can be revealed. Several media outlets this morning report, as we said at Infowars at the turn of the year, that H.R. McMaster's discussions and communications with Susan Rice, the Barack Obama National Security Advisor, and McMaster's publicly clearing Rice in the so-called unmasking scandal infuriated President Donald Trump. It can now be reported exclusively that Fiona Hill is the operative who facilitated the conversations between Rice, the veteran Obama advisor, and McMaster. Now, we reported here at Infowars about McMaster's sloppy dinner with the IT CEO, Sophia Katz of Oracle, where McMaster got inebriated and then dumped on the intellectual capacity of his boss, President Donald Trump, an act of extraordinary disloyalty. Now we can report McMaster is on his last legs. The question is, will the president, as he did in the case of the choice of his economic advisor, do the right thing and choose someone who's in line with his anti-interventionist, non-deep state goals? Or will he be lulled by his son-in-law and his daughter and others into appointing another courtier who claims to support the Trump agenda, but who is indeed, like McMaster, a dedicated globalist? Once again, we can roll to this tape and show you how it was we here at Infowars who gave you tomorrow's news then.
We revealed the fact that George Soros has infiltrated the Trump White House with one of his own. In fact, a woman named Fiona Hill, now working for the National Security Council, served in his as an advisor to his Open Society Institute, which is the mechanism that George Soros uses to overthrow foreign governments. You see, the Hungarian government has seen the track record of the Open Society Institute in other countries, and they are moving to call it what it is, not a benign nonprofit, but a criminal enterprise that seeks to destabilize and overturn the democratically elected government of Hungary. And this woman, Fiona Hill, improbably working for the Trump administration, served in the as an advisor to the Open Society Institute for 7 years. She has a lifetime membership in the Council on Foreign Relations. She is a Harvard graduate. Does this sound like somebody who should be serving in the Trump White House?
And there you have it. I mean, I think we get right to the point. We have been on top of this story, and we will stay on top of it. The real question now, Owen, is who will take McMaster's place? I believe that his fate is sealed. I think he will be gone soon. Remember, we predicted last year that Secretary of State Rex Tillerson would be gone by the end of the year. Then at the end of the year, we amended our report to say that after a dinner with Secretary Mattis, General John Kelly, the White House Chief of Staff, in General McMaster, the NSA advisor, that the departure of Rex Tillerson was delayed by 3 months. We called it right on the nose.
Well, that's why we are tomorrow's news today. And in fact, in this case, Roger, you were next year's news today. This is just what we do here at Infowars.com. Look at all the angles, and then we have the courage to report it. We did put out a poll today at War Room Show on Twitter. Who do you think is the next to go from the Trump White House? And shockingly, our audience so far thinks Jeff Sessions is the next to go. Now, that could change as he's neck and neck with General McMaster, and as you're reporting on McMaster being the next to go, as well as others. But on the Drudge Report today, still at the top of Drudge Report today, he's got Chief of Staff Kelly next on the chopping block. Roger, do you have any intel on that?
Well, I think there's a couple different things going on here. First of all, let's recognize in that poll, there is some spillover of those saying what they really mean is they want Sessions to go next.
Fair enough.
That's
fair
completely
point.
Understandable. Sessions stands in the way of an investigation into the epic corruption of the largest political espionage scandal in American history, not to mention the largest treasonous financial scandal in American history, Uranium One. And Jeff Sessions is the man standing in the courtroom door. So I think there's a little bit of sentiment there in that poll. The other thing I would say is I noticed that in his speech yesterday in San Diego, the president went out of his way to praise General John Kelly. That would indicate that Kelly may have stabilized his situation, which was without any question shaky in the aftermath of his handling of the Rob Porter matter. Now, we reported here at Infowars that Kelly was actually telling intimates at that point that he himself believed he was toast, that it was only a matter of time. I still believe that he will not fill out the rest of the president's term. He had been grooming Porter to be the to be the White House Chief of Staff, because we had known all along and reported that General John Kelly aspires to be the Secretary of Defense. That is what that minuet was all about. Unfortunately, his approval of the promotion of Porter, despite several relatively credible claims of spousal abuse, has come back to bite him in the keister.
All right, Roger. Well, we'll get into some of that on the other side. There's some other breaking news actually today. A story from the Daily Caller. Obama DOJ forced FBI to delete 500,000 fugitives from background check database. We're going to have to look into that, see what's up with that. But this news is literally breaking right now. Donald Trump Jr.'s wife, Vanessa Trump, has just filed for divorce. Now, this is apparently going to be an amicable split, and that's all the details we have right now. But the New York Daily News just reporting now, Don Jr.'s wife, Vanessa Trump, is filing for divorce. So you wonder what this might be about. Is this more just fallout from the attacks of the mainstream media on the Trump family relentlessly? We'll get into that on the other side with Roger Stone. This is The War Room.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
I'm so excited. The new product at InfoWarsLife.com in a glass bottle, 2-month servings, filled to the brim, filled to the absolute top, the real red pill. This is a heart and brain pill, a nootropic that doesn't have any stimulants in it. But boy, does it stimulate, because it's beyond that. Quite frankly, I just went off what I saw medical doctors prescribing to their patients, but it wasn't prescription, but they were charging people $100, $200 for the formulae. And I came up with our own formula, working with some scientists and developers, non-GMO, made right here in America, 120 capsules. And ladies and gentlemen, you add the pregnenolone to it, which is the precursor to all the hormones that your body has to have to even make the hormones in your glands. It is amazing. Red pill, now available at InfoWarsStore.com, and your purchase funds the operation.